John, did you see Dana's comments on Saturday? Huh? Did you see Dana's comments on Saturday?
Dana's comments? No, I did not.
What do you think about DC saying he would have already fought Tom?
I don't think much about it, but I really do want to fight Tom Aspinall. I just want to meet him here at Dirty Boxing.
So he has to come to a Dirty Boxing event for him to get the fight.
We'll fight here at Dirty Boxing.
You'll fight at Dirty Boxing. I like that. All right, John.
The fight between Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall is now here, according to Jon Jones himself. Tom Aspinall, on the other hand, claimed that he could not allow someone to threaten him with violence without fighting back. He said that if he lost, he would know he had done his best. Tom also mentioned that there is a lot of politics at the highest level of the UFC, and many things are outside his control, so he can't do much about it.
The fact he's not stepping up and fighting yet, he's let the whole MMA fan base down.
I couldn't have somebody else saying that they're going to beat me and not at least fight him. And then if I lose, at least I tried my best. There's a lot of politics in there in the UFC at the top levels, and it's just like out of my hands, so there's nothing I can really do about it.
Furthermore, Chael Sonnen stated that he has never watched a fan-wanted bout that was then utterly refused. He related it to pursuing a girl at school who repeatedly says no until you lose interest. He stated that the fight between Aspinall and Jones is no longer as important as it was 3 months ago, and even more so 5 months ago. Nonetheless, he feels the fight may still take place, possibly through a single news conference or an Instagram. Live from Dana White.
Guys, I have never seen a fight that we've wanted that we've then been denied. No different than the girl at school that you're chasing and she's telling you no. Lose steam. This fight is a smaller fight now than it was 3 months ago. Aspinall versus Jones, which by the way, I don't maintain for that it could be resurrected one press conference or one Instagram live by Dana. I'm just sharing for you right now. Jones and Aspinall was not only hotter 3 months ago, it was hotter than that 5 months ago. And it is coming to an almost crawl.
However, Jon Jones has finally accepted the battle against Tom Aspinall, following months of fan demand and rising hostility between the two fighters. Jones made it apparent that he is prepared to face Aspinall. He stated that he wants the fight to take place and is ready to step in, indicating that he is no longer evading the challenge.
John, did you see Dana's comments on Saturday? Did you see Dana's comments on Saturday?
Dana's comments? No, I didn't.
What do you think about DC saying he would have already fought Tom?
I don't think much about it, but I really do want to fight Tom Aspinall. I just want to meet him here at Dirty Boxing.
So he has to come to a Dirty Boxing event for him to get the fight.
We'll fight here at Dirty Boxing.
You'll fight at Dirty Boxing. I like that. All right, John.
Furthermore, YouTubers Sneo and Brendan Shaw questioned why Jon Jones has not yet faced Tom Aspinall. They said the age difference between them is insignificant and not a valid reason to avoid the battle. Sneo pointed out that Jones had fought older fighters such as Cormier and Miocic, so he should be ready to face Aspinall now. They decided that if Jones refused to face the top contender, he should relinquish the title rather than hold up the division.
We should see Jon Jones, Tom Aspinall. Why is it not happening? All these missed matchups.
Well, Jon Jones recently talking about fighting.
Why is he not fighting Aspinall? Like, that doesn't make sense. I love Jon Jones. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but like, he's saying that he's a lot. Oh, that are different generations. Dude, you're 37, he's 32. He fought DC when he was like early 20s. DC was almost 40. Jon Jones fought Stipe. Stipe was like 42 years old. And Jon Jones was 36. This is a matchup that should happen. Tom Aspinall's the #1 challenger. Jon Jones is still carrying the belt with the challenger waiting right now, and for no reason they're not fighting. We need to see more of these fights instead of seeing people like sit on the belt forever, holding up the division.
It was like the person that was sort of, yo, I want to fight you for the longest, and he's like, I don't need to fight you.
So then give up the belt.
I think he said
so why he still has the belt.
I think he tweeted recently, like, I don't give a, he'll strip me. Like, I don't think he cares.
My point is they should be forced to fight the top contenders or just get rid of your belt. Don't hold everybody else up in the division.
I see what you're saying.
Aspinall's waiting. There's no reason why, like, just because he doesn't feel like fighting the top contender, then you're not the real champ.
Gable Steveson remarked that if Jon Jones is finished or want to fight again is a question only Jon can answer. He said that Jon will do whatever he wants to the best of his ability. When asked who he would prefer Jones to fight next, Gable replied he would let Jon make his own choice. He made it plain that Jon is not backing out of anything and will make his next move when he is prepared.
The last one as well, obviously we talked about Jon being in the gym and everything. Is he done? Is he finished, or is he going to do one more?
I'm not sure. That might be a question you have to ask Jon.
I did. Well, you know what? You know how he is. But if you had the book, would you rather Francis or Tom for him?
I would rather have John do what John wants to do.
Right.
And if that's Tom, and it's Tom. If it's Francis, then it's Francis. If it's me, then it's me.
Yeah.
But,
and it's definitely, he's not ducking, right?
No, he's not ducking. But whatever John wants to do, he will do, and he'll do it to the best of his abilities.
Thank you very much.
However, Daniel Cormier shared his thoughts on the subject. He emphasized that retaining the championship entails responsibility, especially when a top contender like Tom Aspinall is ready for his turn. Cormier thinks Jon Jones is not displaying the same daring mindset that made him famous. He noted that, in his own career, he would not have postponed such an important bout. Cormier stated that the exhilaration of facing a major challenge is what motivates a true fighter, and Jones' decision not to go forward seems terrible to him.
Jones will get to retire from fighting. But if he doesn't fight this guy, then that's just him quitting. There's one real fight for him, and he's not so old and washed up that he can't take it. So that's how I feel about that. We fought them all. I can tell you guys on good authority, if I was still fighting today and I was still the heavyweight champion and Tom Aspinall was the #1 contender, I would have already fought him. 1,000%. The mindset that I carried through my fight career, knowing how dangerous, it would have done nothing but excite me. To see someone standing across the octagon that could potentially beat me or knock my ass out. That would have made me train harder, smarter, and be more prepared than I ever could have been. That's what that would have done to me. What it's doing to Jon Jones is very disturbing, and it's very hard for me to understand, because in my mind, this guy's a fighter, because I've seen him do it time and time again. I don't know. It's very, very, it's a very weird situation going on with this Jones thing.
Cormier also discussed how the delay in this fight is causing a lot of confusion, despite Jones' already excellent career. Cormier thinks that Jones' behavior does not reflect a true champion, and that instead of adding to the uncertainty, he should focus on bringing both crowns together. Beating Aspinall would silence detractors and add another big victory to his resume. But according to Cormier, the current situation is the polar opposite of what fans expect from someone with Jon Jones' past.
The right thing is to go fight this kid. And if you beat him, which is a real thing and a real likely scenario, you can then stick it to everybody like you've done on so many different occasions and tell them about it. Nothing feels better to a guy like Jon Jones to be able to beat the guy that you thought was going to get him, and then him going, what did I say to you? It's sweeter than any title or anything else you can give this man. But he's got to be willing to take that chance to go and fight this dude. Hey, could Tom Aspinall put him out? Absolutely. Tom Aspinall could put him out. He could shut his lights out. Because guess what? You can hit Jon Jones. He can be hit. But he's tough. And he has a great chin. He can be hit, though. And if he gets hit by that dude, a big guy like that who's fast, Tom could put him out right away. That's a real possibility. But there's also a possibility that Jones takes him deep into a fight that he's never, in a place where he's never been before, where Jones has lived. Jones has lived in those places, and he could drown Tom Aspinall. But we'll never know if this dude don't just fight or quit. Or quit. That's the truth. Not everybody gets to...
Furthermore, Rampage Jackson stated that Jon Jones seemed to be more focused with making his name and earning big money than with fighting. He gets Jones' desire for large sums of money, but he points out that fighters in his age were unconcerned about rankings or legacies because they simply wanted to fight and never turned down a challenge. Rampage thinks that modern fighters behave more like athletes than real combatants. He believes Jones will retire unless Dana White gives him a big sum, like his $35 million, to face Tom Aspinall. According to Rampage, the fight is unlikely to take place.
Hey Rampage, how do you feel about Jon not defending his belt? Why is he so entitled?
I don't give a about Jon. no, but he's more worried about his legacy than just being a fighter. And that motherfucker holding out for a whole lot of money. I can't blame him for that part, holding out for a whole lot of money, but You know what I'm saying? Back in my day in fight, we didn't give a fuck about no legacy, like what ranking and shit you is. We like to fight. We love to fight. These new age fighters, they're athletes. They're not, a lot of them not fighters and hard. You know what I'm saying? You know, we fight and we never turn down a fight. We didn't hold out like that. So that's a whole nother shit.
You know, Jones Aspinall doesn't happen.
I don't think. I think John Jones is going to retire unless Dana ups like 35 million or something like that.
What?
And Michael Bisping offered a more optimistic outlook on the situation, suggesting that the UFC may be keeping silent on purpose to build interest for a fight as huge as this one. Bisping thinks there may be a sophisticated plan behind the scenes, including press events and key announcements, to make it memorable. He feels the delay is part of a bigger plan to surprise supporters with a major disclosure at the right time.
Now, of course, this is one of the most highly anticipated fights in all of UFC history. And you can't just announce it, oh, the fight's gonna happen. No, that's stupid. Fights of this magnitude, the UFC wanna do a proper job. They wanna announce it in a spectacular fashion. They wanna have a press conference. They want the world's media there. They don't want someone on YouTube or whatever, or on the phone just going, yeah, the fight's happening, right? Even when I was fighting my fights, I wasn't allowed to announce them. They wanted to announce them, as I said, in the proper way to make sure that all the world's media is there and it gets all the coverage that it deserves. This is the kind of fight that, of course, deserves that kind of attention. This is a fight the world are crying out for, and this is a fight that it seems like we are going to see.
I told you guys already, we'll get Aspinall versus Jones done. The heavyweight fight will happen. Just relax. I'll announce it.
Francis and Ngannou discussed how MMA negotiations may be deceiving, with individuals saying a fighter is scared while the truth is that it is all business. He explained that Jon Jones has a stronger position since Tom Aspinall needs the fight more than Jones does. According to Francis, Jones' major reason for taking the fight would be money, whilst Aspinall's goal would be to secure his place at the top of the category. Finally, it comes down to what each fighter hopes to gain from the contest.
This explains why Jon Jones is ducking Tom Aspinall.
Does that confuse you why Jon doesn't want Aspinall?
They use that in the negotiation to say, oh no, he doesn't want to fight this guy, he's scared, and then that's how the machine works. And he's in the position to claim what he wants. As he said, Aspinall need that fight, I don't need it. And when you look at it, pretty much true. There's nothing that he's going to make winning that fight if it's not money. But for Aspinall, which is someone coming and trying to cement his way in the division, that would be everything.
Martin Tybur disagreed, saying that the delay in confirming the fight was due to a deliberate strategy rather than fear or doubt. He thinks the UFC and both fighters are deliberately prolonging the negotiations in order to create more excitement and increase their chances of obtaining better deals. Tybura believes the cautious build-up is intended to pique fan interest and ensure the bout achieves its peak worth before anything is officially disclosed.
It's crazy to think what this guy is capable of and how quick that was, and where is the roof? That's the only question. Who can stop him right now? I cannot tell. I know, Jon Jones in his prime time maybe, but now he might be a little bit older than, the skills might be not there. So I don't know. It's crazy where he's going.
However, in both striking and wrestling, he stated that Jon Jones has never faced someone with Tom's hitting skills. Rico even likened Tom's stand-up game to his own, claiming Tom could easily compete at a high level in kickboxing. Rico claimed that Tom would totally dominate Jon Jones, and that Jones would be unable to handle him in a battle.
There's one guy who could mimic a Jon Jones on the feet. It's Rico Verhoeven.
He's gonna wipe the floor. He's gonna wipe the floor with Jon Jones.
You believe
Jon Jones 100%. Doesn't have a chance versus Tom Aspinall. Mark my words. Tom Aspinall is a freaking monster.
I love it.
On his feet and on the ground. So, and I truly believe that Jon Jones has never faced somebody that is that good on his feet. On the ground, he's faced some guys that are pretty good. But on his feet, I think Tom is, he would even do good in the kickboxing ring. He would be a top competitor to fight me.
Moreover, Cain Velasquez commented on Tom Aspinall's style, emphasizing how Tom constantly moves forward and unleashes strikes under pressure. Cain thinks Jon Jones had already examined this aspect of Tom's game. He noted that Jon is known for being meticulous in his combat preparation, analyzing every aspect of his opponent's abilities. As a result, Cain thinks Jones will be able to block Tom's approach and handle the battle effectively. He does not think Aspinall has what it takes to beat Jon Jones.
So me just watching him, I kind of see his pattern a little bit, and his striking, the way he comes in and strikes. I think Jon sees it too.
Okay.
So I think with that, just because again, Jon's he studies, man. He does his homework. You know, he's a master at this. He analyzes things. He studies you over and over again. I think just for that reason, he's gonna know what to do. So I don't think he beats Jon. No.
Cain also explained how all fighters have habits, although some are better at hiding them than others. He stated that when Tom pushes forward and assaults, his actions become easier to read. According to Cain, the idea is to mix things up with feints, but Tom frequently throws everything into his strikes with no subtlety, even if this approach has helped Tom win big battles. Cain thinks Jones will detect these tendencies and take advantage of them to win.
Everybody has a pattern, right?
Okay.
Everybody has a fight pattern.
Yeah.
And then some people disguise it better than others. The simple fact is the way Tom, the way that he comes in and fights, he does have a pattern that's somewhat easier to find when he comes in and strikes. And I think you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of things come with that. It's disguising your pattern. It's, throwing fakes here and there before. But when he comes to attacks, he comes in and attacks. It's 100% full go. You know, he comes in, glides in, lunges in, and does his attack. Again, not that it's not effective. It is. You know, he's done great things with it. Look where he's at now. Not taking anything away from him. No, he is. But I think with the type of guy that Jon Jones is, I think he studies him and he beats him because of that.
Cain ended by expressing appreciation for Tom Aspinall, describing him as a tremendous fighter who earned his place by defeating hard opponents. He admired Tom's stature, quickness, striking ability, and power, calling them all impressive. Cain stated that the most essential aspect of a battle is how the two fighters match up in style, which is what keeps fights interesting. He concluded by saying that he greatly admires Tom's work.
What he's been doing, great, obviously, champion of the world, amazing, he's beaten some tough guys to get there. I see what you're saying as far as like the body type, the movement, the speed, the striking, the strength that he has. So it's great, man. just great stuff. And for me, it's obviously the matchups. Like the matchups was what makes everything interesting. So I think it's great what he's doing.
UFC welterweight champion Belal Muhammad stated that Tom Aspinall is possibly the most difficult challenge Jon Jones has ever faced, citing Tom's strength and quickness as indicators of the new breed of heavyweights, though he thinks Jones can still win. Ball thinks the fight only makes sense if the money is right. He expects Dana White to push for it because of the potential earnings, but Jones may opt to face Alex Pereira instead unless offered between $30 and $50 million.
I'm Jon Jones. Like, a lot of people consider him the GOAT, the best fighter ever do it. The next hungry lion is Aspinall. It's probably the toughest fight that he'll have. Like, this guy's the next generation. He's a lot stronger, a lot faster. But I think Jon Jones is good enough to beat him. But it's like, it has to be worth it. The fans are fickle, right? You lose one fight, they're gonna, he's... Right? They just care about your last win or your last loss. I think Dana White and them will end up making it. Dana White's a smart businessman. He knows how much money that fight would make. If I'm Jon Jones, you've already done everything in the sport. It's not worth it unless it's that $30 million, $50 million payday. If I'm Jon Jones, I'm picking out Pereira.
Paddy, he is one of the coolest people in the sport. Even though Jon Jones is getting older, Paddy stated that he cannot pick against him because Jones has the best fighting mind in MMA history and always comes up with the ideal plan. Does not feel comfortable betting against Jones.
You think the Aspinall-Jones fight happens?
It's got to happen. I was sitting next to Tom the other week at the UFC in London and talking to him about it.
How do you think that plays out? if they fight?
I'll be honest, Tom's a friend. I love Tom. He's one of the coolest dudes in the whole of MMA. Even though Jones is getting old, I just can't pick against Jon Jones. The one thing I do think Jon Jones has got the best in the world and the best ever is his fight IQ. He has a perfect game plan to beat that person. As much as I love Tom and I want Tom to win, I couldn't pick against Jon Jones. It's just something I couldn't.
Kamaru. Usman thinks Tom Aspinall is the most dangerous heavyweight and the hardest test for Jon Jones. He did warn Jones, however, that he should secure his financial terms before taking on such a perilous fight. Usman stressed the importance of being wise and cautious, especially given the stakes.
I do think Tom Aspinall is the most dangerous heavyweight right now. 100% the biggest threat to pry that belt away from Jon Jones. But Jon has got to get that back.
Israel Adesanya noticed that Jones and Aspinall are fairly similar in size, with Tom being slightly taller and more substantial. He stated Tom's quickness could be a problem, but Jones' grappling talents could give him an advantage. Adesanya described the contest as interesting and stated that no one can truly predict the outcome until they fight. He thinks this is about that fans should see.
But he's the same height as me, if not an inch taller, but thick. Yeah. And I was like, you're a lot thicker than I would expect. Yeah. And the speed, that's the thing that I'm like, okay, that's the danger. But again, grappling, he's a black belt, but Jon is...
Eric Nick, another coach, shared his thoughts on how a fight between Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall may play out. He stated that Aspinall's rapid hands are a major benefit, but Jones excels at controlling distance and disrupting his opponent's rhythm. Nick stated how Jones once halted Miocic's jab by altering stances throughout the bout. He stated that he and Aspinall discussed how to thwart Jones's mid-range attacks, with a focus on staying aggressive and exerting pressure. According to Nick, in order to win, Aspinall must take control early and not allow Jones to become relaxed.
Advantages do you see that he has over Jon Bones Jones?
I think hand speed. But what Jon does very well, and what we saw in the Stipe fight, is Jon will occupy your hands. So Stipe's one of his best weapons was always his jab. So you saw Jon switch to southpaw, lead hand occupy, which left Stipe with one punch, which was cross. So he was timing the cross to pull off and then was adding on. So I think when you break that fight down, I actually talked to Tom on Monday. We were kind of going back and forth a little bit on some of the game planning things. You can't be in that B range and just kind of get snake charmed by Jon. Let him grab your hands, let him dictate the pace, let him dictate the rhythm. You have to be hyper aggressive in those positions, and I think that's what Tom would have to do in that.
That ends today's video. What are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on their fight? Share your ideas in the comments box, and please subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Also, take a look at our other videos on the screen. Right.